Hi class, I'm Tony Jauregui and I will be your professor for this course for the next 8 weeks. I look forward to working with you on ethics and law, which are super important in our field. And this class is imperative for what's going to be happening for you as you move forward in this career. I myself am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am an adjunct and I own my own group practice, and I'm also a wife and a mom of 5 kids. So I understand having a lot going on. I have been basically on my own with private practice since 2010. Started the road to licensure in 2005. It's a journey, so I empathize. And I went from a sole proprietorship to a group practice. And so my group practice is in Riverside and Norco. And so if you ever have questions about what's next steps are, the road to licensure, things of that nature, I love to help people because it is a bit overwhelming. It can be kind of concerning. And just because it's something that's maybe uncharted territory for you, which is totally okay. And I would like to ease, hopefully, any anxiety that you may have about that. So please feel free to email me. But I'm going to go over the syllabus today, and then you'll be seeing me weekly. Whether you see my face or not is a whole other thing, but you'll be hearing from me weekly in our live recordings. This class, like I said, is very imperative. It's very important because of what ramifications there are for legal and ethical issues if we don't do things as we should, how this affects not only us as people who are hoping to be licensed, but potentially people who supervise us. And so we don't want to put anyone at risk of losing their license. And you work darn hard to have your license revoked. And so we don't ever want to be in a situation where that can happen. And you have to really protect your license. And so that's why these things are so important as well. So to not delay any further, we're going to start going over what's expected in this class. Now, this class is fully online, and so we will be having live lectures each week. So I'll post a lecture. It's up to you to watch it. There will be 7 discussion boards, and there were 75 points because this class, there's a lot of meat in this class. There's a lot of videos to watch, things of that nature. But the 7 discussion boards are a lot of the work that you'll be doing, and they're 75 points each. So they're kind of not small discussion boards. So please be mindful of that. There is 2 exams, and then there's your capstone project. Okay. And so, just be mindful of what you got to do each week to make sure that you get the proper points so that you can do well in the course. Plus, like I said, the material is so important in this course due to the nature of what you're learning and how it sets you up for what's ahead. Week 1 starts this coming Monday, which is July 3rd. I understand the holidays in there, but the nice thing about online is you can work at any pace. So, you have from Monday to Sunday to get your work done. It's due by Sunday before midnight. Now, I say I don't accept late work, being that I don't have time for people to calculate when they want to turn in something. So I need stuff turned in an appropriate timing for my purposes of grading. And so now if a life situation comes up, there's been a lot of life that's happened for people in the past few years due to COVID, the pandemic, and constantly all of us needing to pivot and readjust. So please know that I understand, but I do expect communication. So if something's going on for you personally, something's come up, something's stressful, please talk to me, and don't talk to me after the fact. I need you to talk to me before. That would be my personal preference. So that way I can work with you, know what's going on. Then we can kind of come to some conclusions before we get too far ahead. Okay. I'm not trying to get you motion sickness here. I just want you to be mindful. The capstone essay is due week 7, is due week 8, day 4, and the same as the final exam is due week 7, day 7. So these are important days to be mindful of because you know, it's important to for us for things to be submitted in a certain pace so that we can submit grades for CBO. So I need you to be mindful of submitting your essay when you need to on the 4th day, so I have time to grade everything that's due that following Monday. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to you because sometimes that's not the case. It's maybe due later, but because we do have a capstone paper, I need to be able to have time to grade it. Okay, now we aren't meeting in person, so the etiquette stuff, you might be like, well, you're not going to see me, which is true, but people can be very disrespectful in their writing responses to others. I'm not saying any of you would, but please know that you are going to be colleagues with one another. You never know how you might come across to someone in a post. So please know that you're writing to people who are future colleagues. You never know which professor could be a future colleague because our field is very small. You never know who you may need in the future. So please be respectful to one another as we post and talk about things. Some of this stuff could feel very personal, maybe hit a raw spot, and you never know how you could trigger that in someone. So, yes, we want opinion to some degree, but be mindful of your audience. Okay, that's just my only request, because I don't want to start World War III through discussion board. I'm not interested in doing that. Yeah, that I just gave you guys my late policy, and we don't want you like copying things, basically off Wikipedia or something. So please be mindful to make sure that you're doing things professionally as far as citing your work. Even in your discussion boards, you need to be citing your work. That's a lot of times what people get marked down for, is because they don't cite the text or any sort of information that they're using for their post. So the expectation is that you're citing all your work, even your discussion boards, as we enter this journey. Like I said, law and ethics is very important, because sometimes there's a legal issue and sometimes it might just be an ethical issue, and trying to figure out what's best for your client, what's best for you, all those kinds of things we're going to discuss. So hopefully you find this class very interesting. You're excited. This probably is your beginning, one of the first semesters that you're in. And this is the class that you need to start, seeing clients. So hopefully this gets you excited and ready, hopefully not too overwhelmed. And I'm looking forward to leading you through it. So like I said, I will be posting a live lecture each week. There's a ton of material that you can be looking at, your textbook that you'll be reading from. Corey and Corey are great books, because I feel like they explain things really well. It's not overly wordy or complicated. I really do enjoy their textbooks. So I look forward to walking this journey with you. I wish you the best, to have a good, safe 4th of July weekend, and you'll be seeing me in a week.